Hey people, it's Dan Larsson. Welcome to the newest episode of Synthesize Sunday. Today I want to show you the world's easiest trap lead or trap bass, whatever you want to call it, which I used in this little stuff I'm working on. And so let me show you it. So I think it is a great stuff here, but I'm talking about only this section bass here. Okay, so the main bass is coming from Serum, like obviously, and this is the pure sound. Now I use some side chaining on it, so this is why it sounds a little fat. And I used an overdrive, multiband compression, and some cuts on the lows and the very highs, some limiting with some saturation on the full boss or the group. But the sound itself is very easy. I use the Monster 2 wavetable with the flip warping mode, and this is what gives the sound a little more harshness. Because the sound itself is a little dual, it doesn't contain too much high end or top end, but with the flip I can add some soul-y kind of tone to it, like when it cuts through the sound, as you can see, or the wavetable or the cycle, it creates some nice little tone to it. So it is very necessary to add. I used 16 voices of unison to make it even fatter and, less digital, but more like a little organic sound or washed out sound. I think it is very important in trap. If you want to make a cool bass sound, you don't want to go too digital or too voiceless, because these sounds are pretty much distorted, have voices, chorus, and lots of effects, to make the sound even fatter. Like, for example, from one saw wave, it is really hard to make a decent trap bass. But you can do that, of course, like high pitching a lead trap or something like that. But right now we are talking about some rusty kind of sound, and for these kind of tones, this kind of sound, the unison is a great help. So this is all here. And on the effects I use the hyper dimension, just very short amount on the dimension on the hyper 2. But the distortion, I added some pretty heavy distortion here using the tube distortion type. I use a very short delay. As you can see, I am on only 1 millisecond, which I modulated using the note modifier, so I will be able to change the frequency of this metallic kind of tone, what the delay adds. And this is important if you want to create melodies, well, sort of melodies. We are talking about trap. We don't have too much melodies here. But it is important to use a note modifier if you want to achieve a tonal kind of sound with the delay. Okay, so this is enough of that. Chorus is again to create more voices to it, even though the 16 voices is more than enough, but with some chorus we can wash out our sound even better. And after the chorus I use some EQ modulation, like on the tops and on the middle basses at around like 150 Hz or 120 Hz. And the OTT, what I did here is pull back the very lows, to get rid of those very subs. We don't need them. I didn't change anything on the middles and on the highs. And at the end, I added some more metallic kind of tone using the comp filter from the miscellaneous folder. And this is all basically. The comp filter gives a very middle kind of tone to it, to cut through the mix and all those very heavy basses and drums to make it like a lead sound. And it is a bass sound, but also acts as a lead sound because we have our different bass, which is a sub bass, which you may know that this is how trap songs build up. But anyway, after it, I added a reverb, which I heavily compressed with an OTT. And this is again a very important thing here. And also I use another EQ at the low end to make sure that we got rid of all the very lows, like from 150, we don't want to conflict with the kick or the sub. And I did some more high end, but also made some cuts on the middles. And like, you know, a saturator. And you know, the isotope trash doesn't do too much. Let me compare it with and without. Just a little more rust. So what I did here is I used like a simple wave shaper, like with this shape on bipolar mode. And that's all, nothing really fancy here. I use some filtering on the very highs in the module, in the shaping module. And this is all, you know, I use 100% wet effect. So nothing fancy here. But to make the beat complete or make the sequence complete, I use different variations or different variations for the sound. So these two are the same sound, but with some tweaks. So as you can see, it generates a little different tone. Oh, and this third one is an important part here. I think I didn't do anything else but replaced the wavetable, and that's all, because everything is the same. So if you change the wavetable in the first one, like what I demonstrated, like going to the second, well, the third monster wavetable, the sound turned into crap, but you can see that how important the wavetable here is. So this is all what I did here, and you know, I just filled up the gaps with different presets or different sounds from Serum. I also use a resampled version of something here. I'm not sure if I use it though. Yeah, I just use it as a percussion kind of sound, but it is a nice stuff here. So this is the easiest and the most exciting and most overused stuff here. Overused sound in trap, but I hope you enjoy this. And if you are new here, I would like to encourage you to subscribe, because you know, I share new tutorials every Sunday, or well, sometimes I release them on Monday, song feedback sessions too. I like to share production tips, and I'm planning to make live videos too. So I'm sure you can collect lots of knowledge here on this channel on Let's Synthesize. So subscribe, drop a like, and give voice to your thoughts, because I love to hear your voices and I love to read your comments. I was Larson, and see you next time, guys. Bye bye.